Should we be worried about the struggles of Charlie Coyle after 4 games into the season? Is Matthew Poitras the answer at second line center if Coyle's struggles continue? Are the Bruins close to signing Tyler Johnson? Buckle up, Bruins fans. I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. If you've been liking my Bruins content, please leave me a like and subscribe. If you've already done so, thank you, and let's get into it. During the 4-3 loss to the Florida Panthers, Montgomery did some line juggling because, let's be honest, top 6 for the Boston Bruins couldn't get anything going and the bottom 6 was doing all the heavy lifting. One line that caught my eye was that of Brad Marchand, Matthew Poitras, and Justin Brazeau. It's no secret that Charlie Coyle is off to a slow start this season, and the second line doesn't look too impactful right now. Last season, Charlie Coyle played 83 games for the Boston Bruins, getting 25 goals, which was a career high, and he got 35 assists for 60 points. Through 4 games right now, he is -5 with 0 points and is only 40% at the dot, which is his lowest percentage since his rookie year. This is his 14th year in the NHL for the 32-year-old from Massachusetts. I know it's only 4 games into the season, so I'm not hitting the panic button, but let's be honest, he hasn't played well at all and doesn't look like himself. I hate using plus minus as a stat, but it's the only one I could use right now because the man has no points. The second line has been ineffective game after game and is having trouble entering the zone and setting up plays. It looks like they're forcing passes and they have no rhythm. Montgomery mentioned he isn't worried about chemistry with the lines yet, but he is worried about their effort level.
Way more concerning. Especially this early in the year, you're going to have times in the season during the course of a season where you're going to go 3-6-1 in 10 games. And you go through it. Last year we went through it. Our bad part was early December, right before Christmas. And, whatever, you got to find ways to get out of it. But right now it's the effort level, the consistency of our effort level over chemistry that is hurting, and then that really affects execution.
He is the coach, so I'm not going to pretend and act like I know more than him. He obviously saw something in last game, though. Otherwise, he wouldn't have switched up the lines. The effort level isn't there, and I'm shocked I haven't seen it from Coyle, as he's one of the hardest workers year after year on this team. Coyle looks to be fighting the puck shift after shift and having a hard time picking up the man coming back into the zone. His puck management has been non-existent, and he's been easily knocked off the puck. I have no doubt that he will find his game, but it's very concerning that the second line looks like the least effective than any other line on the team right now. He has a total of 3 shots on net, and the league average right now is 4, so he isn't far off. I feel when I'm watching him right now, his zone entries are sloppy, and the line is quickly giving away the puck and starts to give up ice the other way. Monty even called out Coyle and said, he looks like he's not up to speed right now, but he'll get there. He's a veteran player that we've relied on in so many areas. I don't have concerns about Charlie getting to where he needs to be. Coyle responded to this, and I was glad to hear him say it. I think he's right, Coyle said. There's some games, mostly the games we lost, where I'm kind of hesitant a little bit. We're not on our toes, and we're not first to battles. When we're late to battles, it's hard to win most of them. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but we've got to be on our toes. We've got to be ready to go in the corners, in front of the net, wherever the battle is, right off the baseline. Kind of everything on the ice. We just got to dig in a little bit and get into the battle saying, hey, I'm going to win this thing. Put that in our mind. You'd be amazed how often you come up with the puck or win that. We need to do a little more of that. It doesn't help that Morgan Geekie isn't looking like the player that can fill the role in the second line winger. When Coyle got the promotion from third line center to second line center last year, he excelled, but Geekie hasn't looked good at all, which doesn't give Marchand and Coyle many options with regards to puck movement. Once again, a very small sample size, but I feel he isn't working on this line, or the line isn't working. They don't look like they gel, and I don't know how long you can wait to give them more chances. Geekie unfortunately looks out of place on the line with Coyle and Marchand, but if Coyle gets going, maybe that pushes Geekie. Before you say the Bruins should try Lysell, you might want to check out some of Lysell's games in Providence, because he hasn't looked the best either down there. It is very early, but maybe the emergence of Poitras will push Coyle. Poitras looks fast, playing with pace, and is driving force when he's on the ice. When Monty put Marchand on his line, they instantly had some chances. Marchand likes to hold on to the puck and make quick plays, and Coyle lately looks slow and standing still. Maybe Poitras should get a look at second line center if Coyle comes up flat against Colorado. I understand some might say you have 2 players that don't have size on the same line, but that's where Brazeau is perfect for them. Plus, you have plenty of size on the Bruins back end right now. Brazeau has surprised me, and he's shown he has deceptive speed for his size. He could be the net front presence along with the big body digging the puck from the corners to feed both Poitras and Marchand. Poitras and Marchand have a knack for going in the corners for loose pucks and being the ones coming out of there with the puck. This would help drive the cycle and be able to help puck to the point for a shot and hope for a deflection, screen, or even a rebound. When I look at the centerman Marchand has played with over the years, Poitras adds a new dimension that he hasn't seen far too often over his career. No one can replace Bergeron, and Marchand doesn't expect anyone to. I think Poitras offers a different look, which I would like to see more of than just a couple shifts. I would love to see them use their speed together, turn the puck off the rush. I think it would be a huge asset and could be exciting for the offense. Poitras would take some of the heavy lifting away from Marchand and even do some of the puck management himself and letting Marchand sneak into the slot for a one-timer or hit him with a pass on the doorstep for a tap-in. After 3 off-season surgeries, maybe it would help Marchand if someone else did some of the zone entries for him and set up the cycle. By no means has Coyle lost his spot on the second line, but I think with Poitras' strong play as of late, Monty has to be at least considering it. You can't continue to see the top 6 get outworked by the bottom 6 and not start to reward these players for their play. Poitras might very well be the 2C of the future, and his play as of late is making a great case to give him a shot right now. In the end, the Bruins need to win hockey games, and if the inconsistent play from the second line continues, then changes have to be made. Next, I wanted to give a brief update on Tyler Johnson and what I think the timeline is before he signs. I have no doubt that Tyler Johnson signs with the Boston Bruins this season, as he is still practicing with the team at Warrior when the Bruins are in Boston. The Johnson situation feels very similar to the Danton Heinen situation from last season, who signed a 1-year deal with the Bruins last season on October 30th, when the Bruins had cap space to do so. According to Puckpedia, the Bruins currently have $423,774 in cap space right now. Now, they could easily put players like Tufte or Jones on waivers with the purpose of assigning them to Providence, but I don't think the Bruins would want to risk losing them just yet. Monty made it clear that both players would get back into the lineup during the Western road trip. We all know the only line that isn't going to get touched is the fourth line, as they're the Bruins' best line by far. That leaves either Frederic, Brazeau, or even Geekie to take a seat to let Jones or Tufte play. My guess would be trying Frederic or Brazeau on the second line and sit Geekie, but I'm only guessing at this point. I can't see them sitting anyone else, and it would be a terrible message to the fourth line if you sat any of them. I have made no secret of my lack of optimism for Jones and feel he hasn't fitted at all and hasn't looked good in any game he's played. He's coming off an injury, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But when the Bruins do sign Johnson, they will need to make a choice between Tufte or Jones on who they send to Providence. And they will have to risk losing them as they will need to clear waivers. I would think it's the last test for the two of them to gel before the Bruins get back from their Western road trip, because they can almost have the cap space to sign Johnson upon their return. By then, they will have made a decision on the two, and my guess is that Tufte will be the odd man out. The Bruins this year are a very big team, but evident after a couple games, they're missing some speed and skill in the lineup to balance out the size and strength. The Bruins are a young team, and their lack of discipline is proof of the maturity, and maybe a veteran presence in the room like Johnson can help right the ship. That's a wrap on today's video. To stay up to date on all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. If news breaks surrounding the Boston Bruins, be sure to check out the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you, and I'll see you next time.